In 2019, a study of 20,000 people in England showed that spending a minimum of 2 hours a week in green spaces was more likely to produce good health and psychological well-being. Now, this may sound obvious to some people, but I'm a bit of a slow learner. In Australia, we've just started spring. Some days are still a bit cold and dreary, but it's getting sunnier. Working an office job like the one I do can be kind of depressing on those sunny days, especially now that I'm trapped in kind of my own house. You just want to get out and kind of embrace the sun, get amongst it. Now, to be honest, I've never been much of a nature boy in the sense of really being in love in nature and travelling to quite exotic places just to seek out different patches of nature. I've always been someone who likes cities, mostly because, the people. I think I'm fascinated by different people, even if I don't get along with all of them. They're kind of my jam. But lately, something has been changing in me. These images you're watching now are from my hometown in Melbourne, in the outer western suburbs. Before the pandemic, I was living overseas in Ireland and Dublin mostly. And before that, I was living in another suburb of Melbourne in the north, about an hour's drive from the places you're seeing in this video. As a kid and as a teenager and even in my early 20s, I'd thought I'd seen most of what my hometown in suburbia had to offer. And kind of granted, what you're seeing right here is nothing new from what I saw as a kid. Now, because of Melbourne's 6th lockdown and where only can go within a 5k radius, this length of river and its patches of green has seemed to take on a new meaning for me the more I've travelled down to it and experienced it. As a teenager and in my early 20s, I had a love-hate relationship with my hometown. To a certain extent, I was embarrassed to say I lived here. It felt like I was living in the farthest place I could be in while still living in the city of Melbourne. It was a bit of a dead-end suburb, at least to my mind back then. Life always felt like it was happening, somewhere else, and that I was missing out. But, I was young and perhaps just getting ahead of myself. During the pandemic, I've been exploring the little nooks and crannies of my hometown because I guess there's nowhere else to go and nowhere else to explore. I've been looking at the riverside walks I didn't know existed. The parks I had completely bypassed in my hurry to grow up and escape. I've noticed the way the skyline seems to stretch out forever, and it's just endless flat plains, first of houses, and then slowly breaking into a long horizon of green. It's given me a little bit of perspective, and that perspective is really helping me feel like I can cope with recent difficult events in my life of late. Studies have shown that peaceful time spent in nature is an antidote for stress. It can lower blood pressure and stress hormone levels, enhance the immune system, increase self-esteem, reduce anxiety, and improve mood. I mean, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? It's not a complete cure-all, of course, but I don't think anything really is. I just think that it can help. I feel like I'm currently going through a transitional period in my life at the moment. Changes are happening. Some good, some not so good, and some just very mundane and normal. But I guess that's life. Sometimes I have to remind myself that change is constant. You can't beat it. You can resist, but ultimately it wears you down. You have to adapt and take on the new challenges that life throws you. At least, that's what I'm telling myself. I really do hope everyone out there is just doing their best. And I kind of want to say that that's okay, whatever your best is right now. It's very difficult to sometimes live in a world like this where things are changing so constantly and the future is so uncertain. But I think within that uncertainty, there is room to walk outside your door, breathe in some nice air, and sit under a tree and maybe just not think about anything at all. Until next time, everyone, Andy out.